Hello everyone, my name is Nihad Ejubovic, and the topic that I have planned to speak about today is to provide you all with a short guide on how to be an effective interviewer. As we embark on this path of becoming healthcare leaders, it is vital that the candidates we bring into our organization are the right fit and are going to bring success into our organizations. So why is being an effective interviewer so important? According to statistics, employee turnover is one of the highest costs of doing business for an organization. Although you can never guarantee a candidate is going to work out, conducting well-run and organized interviews are critical to the selection process and ultimately selecting the best fit candidate. The first step to effectively interview is you need to weed out the good candidates from those who might not be the best fit for your organization, even before an interview is conducted. Many organizations these days use such selection tools as personality tests, cognitive tests related to the job, along with simulations that reflect the work the candidate will be doing. This is vital as it allows you to narrow down your candidate pool to a select few. Now that you have narrowed down your candidate pool, you need to prepare for the actual interview. Some tips to ensure you are well prepared for the interview is to prepare and practice the questions you are wanting to ask. You want the interview to flow as a conversation rather than read each question by question like an exam. In addition, ensure you have a good knowledge of the candidate's background and have looked over their resume and/or cover letter. In addition, you will want to decide if the job calls for a structured interview, where a set of predetermined questions are prepared and those will be asked to each candidate that gets interviewed. Or, as an alternative, you may consider an unstructured interview in which the questions that will be asked are not predetermined. This approach allows you to take the interview in which way you seem appropriate given the candidate's answers. Next, you will decide what kind of interview setting is appropriate for the specific job that the candidate is interviewing for. One option is a face-to-face interview, which is the most typical, where it is only you and the candidate in the specific setting that you have chosen. A web-based interview may be set up if you work for an organization that has many telecommute positions. While still a new and a rising technique in how we conduct interviews, interviewing your candidate from the office through programs like Skype and Tango may be appropriate in this case. A third approach that you may take is by conducting a panel interview. A panel interview is conducted by having multiple members of your organization interview the candidate, usually more than two. This can be you, your supervisor, and another lead in the department that the candidate is applying for. An unorthodox approach that researchers in Australia have found to have greater reliability in selecting the best fit candidate is having the interviewee have multiple mini interviews. In an MMI interview format, they would interview with one person of your organization for a few minutes, then move to a new setting and interview another, and so on. While this approach is much more resource intensive, it provides the candidate to answer questions in multiple settings with various individuals. Once you have decided the type of interview you want to conduct and the format of it, you'll want to select what type of questions to ask. You may decide to ask situational questions, and where you ask the candidate to describe how they would handle a situation that might occur in their new role within your department. A second type of question you may ask the candidate is an experience-based question. These questions ask the candidate to relate back to their prior work experiences and describe how they handled an issue then. An example would be, tell me about a situation where you had to deal with an angry patient. A third type of question you may ask your candidate is a job knowledge question. These questions will allow you insight on how well the candidate knows the job they are applying for and ensuring they are able to achieve the tasks that are necessary in their role. Such questions may be, are you aware of HIPAA and what it pertains to? Whatever type of questions you decide to ask the candidate, you need to ensure that these questions are not related to gender, race, color, national origin, and/or religion. Asking direct questions about any of these can be discriminatory and can lead you, the interviewer, into big trouble. Ensuring the questions are obeying the Civil Rights Act and the Age Discrimination and Employment Act is very important. So asking such questions as, oh, I see you have an accent, where are you from, is not appropriate to ask a candidate. In addition, specifically, if interviewing a female candidate, asking if they are planning on having children and when that will be is not appropriate and can lead to discriminatory lawsuits against you, your organization, in addition to losing your job. Now that you have prepared the type of interview you want to conduct, the format and the set of questions are ready, you need to prepare how you are going to act during an interview. Standing up tall in your chair, making eye contact with the candidate, and having an upbeat personality are all vital to making the candidate feel comfortable as possible. You want to avoid crossing your arms or checking your email during the interview, as it might give signs to your candidate that you are no longer interested. In addition, you need to remember that not only are you interviewing the candidate, be prepared to get interviewed yourself. Most candidates in today's society have access to the internet and have most likely done their research on your organization and possibly even you. Ensure that you are well prepared to answer questions about your organization, its values, and mission statement, along with job specific questions. Some red flags that you need to consider when selecting your candidate is looking at their previous job history, have they had a gap in employment, how many jobs have they had in the last couple years, along with the reasons why they left those. Be cautious of the amount of times they use and well like in their answers. In addition, if they consistently ramble on and on when answering a question, that should raise a red flag. Finally, when you are ready to select a candidate, you need to ensure that the decision is made with emotional intelligence, confidence, along with evidence that the candidate has potential to fit in your organization's culture and be an asset. You want to avoid making gut decisions, even if it leaves the position open longer than you want, as gut decisions are risky hires and can have many consequences. Ensuring that you are hiring the right candidate has many benefits, but the most important is that it allows the segment of business that you lead to succeed. An organization can only be successful as the employees it has. Therefore, ensuring the right people are working in your organization allows for growth, innovation, and longevity. Lastly, once all candidates have been interviewed and a decision is made on who you want to hire, you will want your HR recruiter to reach out to all candidates and inform them if they have received a job offer or not. This allows the candidates not chosen to further look for a job rather than awaiting an offer that may never come. Also, it's simply just a nice thing to do as they took time out of their day to interview with you, and you should respect that.